Hello, my name is Shatan Clark, and today I will be talking to you about organizational design, structure, and change. What does this organization do? So I'm going to talk to you about urban school districts. They manage a community of students, staff, and family members, distribute curriculum designed for student success, and they engage in community outreach through different programs. Today we're going to be covering 8 dimensions of quality business, but we're going to focus on one that is underperforming in the districts. So the 8 dimensions are innovativeness, long-term investment value, quality of management, people management, quality of products and services, financial soundness, wise use of corporate assets, and social responsibility to the community and the environment. The category that we're going to focus on for the underperformance in urban school districts is people management. You may be asking yourself, what is people management? People management is the process of training, motivating, and directing employees to optimize workplace productivity and promote professional growth. Workplace leaders, such as team leads, managers, and department heads, use people management to oversee workflow and boost employee performance every day. Now, within people management, there are 8 categories we're going to focus on: three: clear communication, organization, and empowering employees. So, what are the ramifications for underperforming in people management? For the urban school district, the the ramifications right now are high turnover rate, the lack of content expertise, because we do not have because because of the turnover rate, there are not as many uh, teachers that there are not as many teachers that have been there long enough because they leave or they go to different districts, whether they get fired on their own or they want to leave to go someplace else. Student underperformance, behavioral issues, those are a few of the current ramifications. Future ramifications are going to be academic and social gaps shown with student population. So our kids are lacking social skills and academic skills. So if this underperformance keeps happening, it was just it will just grow tremendously over time. The continuation of high turnover rate from from staff members. So if the behavior issues consist consistently go up, more teachers will not want to come work for that district or in that district or in that school, or more teachers may leave, or if the because the managers or the principals or vice principals are so hard on the staff members on certain things, it may push certain staff members off as well. So therefore, there will be no progressive movement forward for either staff or the school district at large. Structural design. So we're going to talk about structure, design, and culture. Hierarchical. Uh, the district use a hierarchical system or hierarchy system. They also use a functional structure system. The bad thing about this is that there are the lower level employees feel they have less ownership. Um, it can slow down innovation or important changes due to increased bureaucracy. The way you see that is if a teacher wants to try to implement a new strategy or implement a way, possibly change a way of teaching or change something in a curriculum, it has to be put up the chain of command, which then may get stopped even at a lower level because they have to go to a higher level at that, which then may take longer for the teacher to even try to implement it. And then teachers get frustrated because they don't feel empowered or feel like they are being heard or feel like the expertise that they have is being respected. Conscious culture, the school is very well versed in conscious culture. They have an emphasis on purpose or higher purpose, which is to serve their community at large and to help build the community that they are in. Everybody benefits from a win-win situation that is inside this community. Um, Both the stakeholders and the shareholders at large. It is stakeholder oriented. It is very much about the students in the community that they are serving. Now we're going to talk about the ways we're going to talk about Decoder's 8-step change design, change model. It's going to create a sense of urgency. We're going to build a guiding coalition. We're going to form strategic vision, initiatives, enlist volunteer army, enable actions by removing barriers, generate short-term wins, sustain acceleration, and institute the change altogether. So the steps that we're going to take for my plan for moving forward, all stakeholders must understand that the goal is to get students to be academically and socially sufficient. Get them up to par. 2, encourage staff and community members to write letters and petitions, to call phone calls to the superintendents regarding their requests in the changes that we want. Teachers have the autonomy to craft curriculum that is both culturally relevant and meets all student needs. We need to have our teachers feeling empowered to be able to make any changes that they need. Empower staff members to create their own committees and address the needs of the school community. Eliminate the arduous tasks, expectations to staff members that do not directly relate to enhancing student success. This is very important. Evidence of the students' success through project-based tasks that teachers and staff members crafted. I'm going to skip number 7. And lastly, we're going to celebrate every win, no matter how big or small, that moves us closer to the change we want to see with every staff member and every student. The challenges that are going to come from with these changes, lack of buy-in from all stakeholders. Sometimes a change is going to have resistance. So within that, we're going to have to talk with the different stakeholders and see what their reservations are. And then from there, I would see if was something they wanted to try or compromise we could come to see so that everyone would feel involved. I want to open line communication amongst all stakeholders so no one was left out, left in the dark about what was going on. There would never be a point where someone feels they don't know what's happening. And for the small pocket evidence, I would make a compromise to students' success, a comparison of student success from earlier, and then compare it to our timeline and see where we're at compared to maybe last year or the year before, even 6 months ago or 2 months ago, to see how we're moving so that if we're not moving as fast as people may expect us to move because of the change or because they want to try to hurry up and go back to the way that it used to be, show that look, we're on par, we're on pace to make the changes that we need to get those higher to meet those higher expectations that we want of both our staff and our students. We need to take a holistic approach. Okay, there are smaller groups or subgroups within that we need to make sure that we take care of, and there will be there will be people that will be resistant to change due to the fact that as of right now they are the experts in a certain area for a long time, and they will have to learn or relearn a new system. And lots of people are going to be resistant to that. Lots of people are not going to want change. But I'm going to make sure that they understand that this is a conscious culture, right? Just reiterate that, re-put that up front, that this is a conscious culture, and I'm going to lead by example. With organizational change, there will inevitably be change in power. There will be a lot of resistance for that, but it is, but as a leader, like I said, I'm going to make sure that every person understands that the power may be getting shifted around and changed around, but I'm going to reallocate and make sure that each person in that power understands that they have a point or a part to play in. Habit, there are a lot of people that have certain habits that they are used to, certain ways that they are used to doing things. We have to make sure that this subgroup is taken care of so that even though they might have to change their habits a little bit and how they do things, but it's going to benefit our stakeholders at the end, right? And that's what's most important. Lack of awareness. We have to make sure that we're paying attention to the people that may have those glossed over eyes. So we need to be paying attention to body language and being able to answer all the questions, no matter how many times the question may be being asked, not getting frustrated by those questions because we want everybody to be on the same page once we hit the ground. Food for thought. Adaptability is the biggest lesson learned here. Knowing that people are able to adapt as long as you allow them to is very important. Employees who could quickly adapt to cultural norms as they changed over time were more successful than employees who exhibited high cultural fit when they first were hired. So that's just saying that just because when somebody was hired before they were a perfect fit in the beginning doesn't mean that they are going to be a perfect fit now. They need to be able to adapt and need to be able to have adaptability. But we can't look at somebody that was doing something one way and just say, like, oh, they're not going to be able to change. They are already stuck in their ways. No, give them time to be able to change. Give them time to be able to learn this this new way of working. Understand that people are going to want to change because they want to keep that security. They want to they have their own Maslow hierarchy that they need fulfilled. All right. So with that happening, they're going to want to change. So they keep getting paid and they keep on staying on par. And then they may see that they're actually feeding into the purpose that they are really fulfilling once they move out the way of their blinders that they may have. Give people a purpose. Okay. I have to remember that people are more resilient than you may think, and that You may think, and also be willing to make changes necessary for both security to meet their needs. Okay. To help with a smoother and more quickly change, give people the ability to be more involved with how the change will look. So giving people a purpose, giving them something, giving them a task, making sure that they are able to meet that task. Okay. And because if you give them the task and you give them a purpose, they're going to be, they're going to want to push that purpose forward and get things done. That is my presentation. That is my benchmark for organizational design, structure, change. Thank you very much. Have a great day.